Good morning, I'm Jen Wall. Thank you so much for joining us. The Arizona Department of Health Services has just released new numbers on coronavirus cases statewide. DHS is reporting there are now more than 5,200 confirmed cases and 208 people have died. Those numbers are up from yesterday when there were just more than 5,000 confirmed cases and 187 deaths. President Trump announced this week he's placing a temporary suspension on immigration to the U.S. due to the coronavirus outbreak. Now, in a tweet, Mr. Trump said the suspension was because of an attack from the invisible enemy and a, quote, need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, end quote. President Trump said he will sign an executive order to enact the suspension. The immigration shutdown comes after the president banned some travelers to and from China and Europe in January and March. And new this morning, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he believes the Senate will pass another relief bill to help small businesses. And a vote could happen as early as today. Schumer said both sides, quote, came to an agreement on just about every issue. The CARES 2 bill would provide additional funding for the Paycheck Protection Program, which ran out of funding last week. And while lawmakers try to secure money for small businesses, people in the valley are ready to get back to work. And that means deciding on when to reopen Arizona. Right now, we are less than 2 weeks away from the governor's stay-at-home order expiring. And many are asking, but what happens next? Team 12's Michael Doudna talked to an expert about how a return to normal might actually look a little different.
As of right now, there's no specified plan on when and how the state would reopen. But as Governor Doug Ducey told us on Friday, that any reopening likely would be gradual.
It's not a light switch. It's not something you turn off and on. It's more like allowing more oxygen into our economy.
But that's something experts say would require a delicate balance.
Trying to find the sweet spot between getting the economy back on track and balancing that against risk for health problems and safety issues.
Dr. Kevin Steffen is an infectious disease specialist, and he says to do this properly, it can't happen all at once.
Let's take work for instance. What you may see is people start to come back to work in stages. And it would likely start with folks who have been tested and shown signs of immunity. And then more folks would be able to show up to work practicing good social distancing. But you may see people still stay at home if they're able to.
And I think it's going to have to be a staged getting back to work. And I think the first people who could go back to work safely would be people who show evidence of being immune.
And you could see similar actions taken whenever you go out, at restaurants with tables spaced at least 6 feet apart, at games and movie theaters with empty seats, all to social distance. And before you go in, Dr. Steffen says he wouldn't be shocked if you get your temperature checked just to make sure you're good to go.
It would be a smart thing to do, and it's pretty easy to do.
The goal here is to see what the system can handle without leading to a second surge of COVID-19 cases and deaths. But Dr. Steffen says the true key to getting back to normal is either a vaccine or that we're able to track the disease everywhere in the country.
And we have to get to the point where we have enough reliable tests where anybody who wants one can get one.
Michael Doudna, 12 News.
All right, thank you, Michael. And looking ahead this weekend, if your pantry is running low, the city of Scottsdale plans to host an emergency food drive on Saturday and Sunday. The drive will go on from 10 a.m. until 2 in the afternoon at 3 different Scottsdale churches. Now, all 3 locations have drive-thrus and drop-off bins. For more information, head over to 12news.com. And those who intentionally expose first responders to the coronavirus in Flagstaff could find themselves in big trouble. Flagstaff city prosecutors and Flagstaff police are working together to raise fines and lengthen jail sentences to anyone found guilty of putting first responders' health at risk. And let's take another look at the new totals of coronavirus cases just released by the Arizona Department of Health Services. It's right there on your screen right now. DHS is reporting there are more than 5,200 confirmed cases and 208 people have died. That is 21 more deaths than yesterday and the largest daily increase we've seen since the state started tracing the outbreak. And taking a closer look at the numbers right here in Maricopa County, according to the County Health Department, there are more than 2,700 confirmed cases. There are now 84 deaths, nearly 500 people in the hospital, and 155 in the intensive care unit. And don't forget, you can always find the latest information surrounding the coronavirus and how it's affecting Arizona on the 12 News app. It is free to download if you don't have it already. Well, thank you for joining us for this latest update. Have a great day and stay safe, Arizona.